Hi, it's me again, Dr. Anthony VT, expert behavioral analyst, licensed global coach, and your directional strategist, maximizing your full potential. Now today we're going to look at merit. The context is looking at sales, looking at how your company can generate more sales and how you basically in a smaller company can also generate sales, and or how you as an individual can stimulate your sales. Because you see, when it comes to you being effective, there has to be a case of merit. We all understand that when we come from a background of learning and education, that at the end of the year we always had our merit qualifications, and there were awards and there were citations. Well, merit is something that you and I badly desire. We want to be known as a person with an accolade of great merits. So in this acronym that we're going to be doing today, we're going to relate it back to the sales, also to you as an individual, but you want to have yourself a true positioning of great merit, a value add to people as it per se. Now, in terms of this, what does the M stand for? The M stands for market. You and I need to understand that we have to establish our market. If you don't know your market, you're aiming at everything and you're getting nothing done. Because it's so important that your market is specifically targeted, that you know who you want to address, whether it's geographical, whether it's age, gender, sex, does not matter. But your market needs to be concise and needs to be clear. I found one of the problems that I have when I help small, medium enterprise entrepreneurs is that they don't know exactly who their market is. In fact, I always ask this question and say, who is your ideal client? In other words, how does that relate back to your market? Because if you want merit, if you want to go to the next level, you have to understand that your market segmentation plays a vital role. So, are you clear? And if you're not sure, maybe you can sit with another mentor, maybe you can sit with a coach and say, help me understand what market am I looking at. That's why we often do a market analysis. If anybody's not sure of will their new business make it in a new area or new region, you know, if you for instance had a huge retail outlet in a large city and you're planning now to franchise it out to smaller settings, it doesn't mean that's going to work. You have to go and do a demographic study and you have to do a market analysis. Therefore, you have to take responsibility of knowing your own market. That will give you merit in this case. But in this market, this next word is where all the extrapolations are going to take place. And you know what that is? And that is where that you and I have to literally equate to certain situations. Now, equations means that you and I have to go to certain formulas. We have to work out. The first thing you want to look at is profitability. Who says that if we go into a certain market that the area is large enough to bring about a profitability? Now, there's always a measure of how many units to sell to how many people, at what price, at what margin, at what profit margin, so that we can understand whether the equation it makes us worth to be in that market. In fact, is it a meritable situation? I can tell you now that a lot of people get an idea and just start firing away, but they didn't count the cost of building the building. Now, if you want to build a skyscraper, did you know that the higher the skyscraper, the deeper the foundation? Well, that equation is vital to your success. Therefore, you will find that you and I need to say to ourselves, are we ready for this new market? Have we equated, have we done all our equations, and have we made sure that we know how to work out what is necessary? One of the big problems we have is obviously the ebb and the flow of sales. We do find that in certain times of the year, in the festive season, sales seems to accelerate because people are buying presents. People want to not only spoil their own families, but they also want to bless other families. So what you find is that there is an ebb and a flow in the market, and it's seasonal. We also know that there's summer season and there's winter season. Now clearly, in a colder region, in the winter season, the warm type clothing will sell better than obviously in the summer season where t-shirts are apt. So it all depends on your market. But the equation and working out how that will become a viable business. See, that is the merit that I'm after today. Can you actually determine the viability of what you're busy with? Do you know how to equate it to a sensible margin? Do you know how to equate it to a profit that makes sense? Now, people often ask me, say to me, what is the average profit out there in the market? All I can say to you is it differs from business to business. However, if in the small medium enterprise business, if you're not looking at least a profit margin of about 15, 18 to 22%, you are in trouble. Because I can tell you now, that's the number one problem that you have. The other equation that you have to really relate back to it is, what is your salaries as a cost of your total all sales? Now, if your salary bill exceeds the 30s and the 35s and gets to the 50%, you are in deep trouble, which meaning that your one-man band is not going to be good enough to carry that business with merit. It's all about the merit. It's the equation of working out, does it work for you? So there we have it in this acronym of merit. Number 1, M, establish your market. Number 2, do your equations, equate to what you need to work out, and is it viable? Now we're going to look at the R. The R will help us understand that in every market there are rules to be followed. Now, intriguingly, seeing that I work around the globe, that the rules necessarily in Europe are not the rules in Asia, and the rules in Asia are not necessarily for the American continent. And Africa has got its own rules per se, and I even have to ask the question, are there rules? I know, but here's the truth. You have to understand the rules or the governance that goes along with wherever you are. It is your job as business owner to find out. Now, even if you are a standalone business, you're a single entity and you're just doing a viral product, one that's gone on the internet and you're trying to get it out all over the world, it is your responsibility to work out what are the tax implications. It's your responsibility to work out what will happen to foreign exchange. Because if you're dealing in a global market, there's always money coming in and money going out in foreign exchange. And there are specific rules that you will have to basically look at and follow them. Now, you and I do know, it's like a red traffic light. A red traffic light says stop, and obviously you and I have a choice. We can go across the red traffic light as many times as we want to, but here's the problem. One day, you're going to cross that red traffic light, blindfolded, and there's going to be a huge accident. You are steering for an accident. Now, I want to tell you, you must take a decision. Are you going to follow the rules and the governance necessary to have the compliance in your company that makes you a place of merit? That's one of the things that gives sort of a weightiness, a weightedness to you, that you have merit because you pride yourself in following compliance and governance, because you are very importantly looking at the rules that have been established. Sometimes you have to establish a new set of rules. You've been working along a certain recipe and you find that the conditions change. Then change the rules. Now, if it doesn't work for you, make it work for you, but make sure that it always is submitting to something. I always say to people, you know, you will never have authority until you submit to authority. So in that case, you want to ask yourself, who can I go and consult with? Now, if you're a small business person, go and ask a mentor or go and ask a coach. There's always someone who's got the experience, who's been there before you. You know, that t-shirt says, been there, done that. Those are the people that you want to basically approach and say, help me work out how I can literally know my market, look at the equations and follow the rules and find out what rules I need to follow. That is a safe way to know that you can impact the world, because you have a case that carries merit. So not only have we had that you and I will work in a specific market, not only have we had to be able to equate it, not only have we had the rules, we're now going to look at the I. Now this is the key. I want to tell you before I get there. That is going to change everything for you. Now you can decide, yes, I want to do it, or no, I don't want to do it. But I can tell you now, this is one of the key concepts that keeps you alive, that keeps you going. And you know what it is? It's one simple little thing that says you and I need to learn and be sure that we know how to innovate. Innovation, as it were, you sometimes have to think on your feet. You know, if you are working on a high riser and you have a bucket of bricks with you and you know that the bricks might basically fall, you can innovate. How about putting up a safety net that if the bricks fall, that they stop falling on the heads of people and therefore you won't have a lawsuit against you. So that innovation will come driven by need. But sometimes innovation is necessary to go next level, because you've been doing things A, B, C and you've got your recipe and you follow it. But then you find that there's a competition. And the competitor comes in and now all of a sudden the market seems to be a little bit more saturated. So what are you going to do? Mope and moan and go, you know, if it wasn't for the opposition that opened, stop it. Stop complaining. You need to find a solution. That solution lies within yourself, because you had the acumen to start, and you guys had merit in the beginning because you did study your market, you did your equations, you did follow the rules. But sometimes you have to revert back to the drawing board and say, you better innovate. Innovation is a decision away. If you stagnated in your sales, if you stagnated in the way that you do things, I want to tell you, go back to this one point that's going to take you to the next level. Start innovating. As you innovate, you'll find that there's going to be one key element as we start concluding this acronym that will make it worth your while. The T. We've had the M for market, we've had the E for equate, we've had the R for rules, we've had the I for innovate, and now we have the T for trusted. Make sure that your products are known in the market as trusted products. Make sure that your service delivery is seen with excellence and that you are a trusted advisor, seeing that you are a trusted supplier. Whatever it is, if you cannot be trusted, who wants to deal with you? So you might have to say to yourself, what is going to give us the business edge? What will take us to the next level? As you and I look at the sales equation of wanting to have merit in the market, it's all up to you and to me. We have to take action. Action that really counts. So, are you trusted as a unique individual? Are your dealings trusted? Are the people who work for you trusted? Are your equations trusted? You know, so often people come and do their equations, and that's why you'll find that where there's a competitive market, it is good. Please don't despise your competition. It's a good thing because it keeps you on your toes. In fact, it keeps you honest. We always say it keeps you honest, because why would the one person justify a markup of 30% and the next person is going to mark up of 300% of exactly the same item? Think for yourself. If exactly the same item is for sale at $20 in the one store, why would you pay for the same item $200 in a different store? You won't. Therefore, you cannot be trusted because your margins are loaded. You see, there's always this balance that you and I have to go. It's like the teeter-totter of life, balance beam of life, that we have to find a balance when you and I look at how do we actually gain merit as a reputable person in the marketplace. And if you're an individual, this is for you too. This is for you to realize that you have the responsibility to ask yourself the question, can you be trusted? Of course you want to be. But there's only one way to go to the next level, and that is always to make sure that you work with somebody that can guide you in essence to go to the next level. I can tell you now the number one key of a great business is that a person has got a coach, a person has a mentor, a person has done their market related studies, and therefore their business carries merit. I want to encourage you, make sure that you actually communicate with us at the bottom and tell us what are the issues that you need governance on, what are the issues you need information on, so that we can come and share them with you. All you have to do is ask. Well, I know your pride might permit you not to ask, but I want to say put the pride away and ask, because that's where we can help you. This is supposed to be a value add to you. Now remember, learn every day, lead yourself, inspire others. This is Dr. Anthony VT. See you again.